Oh my god. Why? Ladies, gentlemen, and others, welcome to the Gaming Otaku, your one-stop mom-and-pop shop for everything fucking Wii. I'm your host, Cypherial, and today's going to be a little bit of an interesting episode today because I'm not doing this with a script. This is completely impromptu. I just finished the last episode today, and I'm really fucking pissed. I want to die. Berserk 2017 is quite possibly the worst manga to anime adaptation I have ever seen. And it pains me to say that because if you guys remember, I gave Berserk 2016 a pass. I gave it a pass. I gave it a pass because it was Berserk. I gave it a pass because the music, it was actually really fucking good. I gave it a pass because I like the story. I'm not gonna do it this time. I thought that it would get better. The animation, of course, is a given. It's still done in shitty 3D. Although this time it appears they've somewhat learned from their mistake by mixing in 2D that actually doesn't look like shit. And especially this last episode, the entire ending segment is in 2D, which actually looks decent. There's actually quite a few really well-drawn animation sequences, but it's nothing really special. Like, it's impressive coming from this studio, but literally any other studio, it would just be like normality. It would be standard grade. I'm gonna tilt this because it's fucking tilting the shit out of me. Basically, this whole season sucks. It really does. Between choppy 10 frame a second animation, really bad camera angles, fucking abysmal sound direction, I swear to God, the frying pan has made a comeback. Whether that's actually good meme-wise or not, I can't fucking tell you. I fucking hated it. I'm actually, if I appear pissed in this video, that's because I love Berserk. I love it. It's one of my favorite things in the otaku world. And for two studios to completely decimate it, to say I'm disappointed is the biggest understatement of the 21st century for me. We have 3 areas of interest today, 3 strikes, the first of which is Hill of Swords. Now, I recently made a shitpost video around the time that the Hill of Swords episode was released. I still stand by it. Hill of Swords was animated fucking terribly. And it utterly pissed me off because Hill of Swords is one of the most iconic battles, encounters, scenes in Berserk. It is the confrontation, the first confrontation between Guts and Femto Griffith, the newly reborn Griffith. It's where they meet. It's where they see each other for the first time and are able to interact. It is also the long-awaited rematch between Zod and Guts. And I say long-awaited, but their first match was, of course, in the Golden Age. Now we're at Millennium Falcon. And you get to see how Rickard's character is going to develop. And that's a very big one because Rickard is actually a really, really good character. So you get to see how his character is going to develop. So you have 3 elements to that encounter. And to have it botched by such shitty animation, shitty camera angles and cinematography, shitty frame rate, and really terrible sound direction completely baffles me. How do you fuck up one of the most iconic fights in a fucking anime? Like, how? Now, okay, Hill of Swords it wasn't the best. It was really bad. But, you know, maybe we can just give that a pass. Maybe. Because it's Berserk, I'll give that a pass. Alright, so, strike 2. Guts versus Grunbeld, otherwise known as the first time the Berserker armor hits the stage. Same shit, different day. Really terrible camera work. Really, really terrible animation. There is literally a scene where Guts is walking from the mid to the foreground, and it literally looks like he's bunny hopping. There's no animation whatsoever. Periodically throughout the series, characters will talk, and their mouths are either, there's no rhythm to it, it's not matching up to the words at all, or they're just like not fucking moving. That is absolutely abysmal. And shit, I don't expect David Productions level quality from this studio, but Jesus fucking Christ, it's like they didn't even try. Why would you give Berserk the Berserk license to do a Berserk product a Berserk production to an animation company that has done fucking all, and another animation company that's known for producing one of the weirdest and most horribly animated anime series ever. I've seen some shit anime. I've seen some really shit one-shots. I've seen some really, really bad animation, but this just takes the fucking cake. And what really pisses me off about this is both Yumachi and I, we were waiting for this fight. We were so fucking pumped for this fight. You have no idea. Everybody was pumped for this fight, and I have never felt so utterly betrayed. That is one of the most badass scenes ever. Now, honestly, I do like the fact that they used both Ash Crow and Dragon Slayer for the reveal. I'm not so sure about the sound direction there. I think the one should have been swapped. I understand why they had to use the softer song because there was dialogue, and honestly it made everything more ominous rather than badass, which of course Berserk is a very dark production. I'm not opposed to it being ominous. It just kind of felt off to me. Now, speaking of soundtrack, the soundtrack for this season was largely the same as the soundtrack for the previous. I don't really have any complaints about the soundtrack. Ash Crow is awesome. Hayo is awesome. Shiro Sagisa's work is frankly amazing. Before I get to the final thing that really pissed me off, as far as the opening, originally I didn't like it. I thought that the first couple of seconds of it were a fucking ear rape, but the song, I believe, actually fits the tone of Berserk a lot more than Inferno does, and definitely a lot more than fucking Nothing Will Me Long does. I liked the animation for the opening, because unlike the rest of the show, it's 2D, and it looks decent. What a fucking concept. Honestly, the opening is probably one of the better things to come out of this anime. Strike 3. Clearly, they did not take into account the fact that there are going to be people who are extremely pissed off at their use of credits over a continuing animation sequence. If you guys watched my last review, you know that I got really fucking pissed when they decided to put credits over one of Serpico's best scenes. Is obscured. They did this again. The scene where Shirk is floating above Guts' consciousness, and she's just floating down. This panel. They fucked it up. So that was strike 3, and that's basically what made me hate this fucking anime. And they've done this repeatedly, and I'm not sure why. Because yes, I understand they have time restrictions. Yes, I understand they wanted the story to go on. Why not just make it an after credit scene? Have they heard of after credits? Have they heard of Marvel Studios at all? It kind of works. It actually works. I always check every anime episode I ever watch. I always check just to see if there's just a preview or if there's an actual after credits scene. Why did they not do it this time? So as far as character voices, it's largely the same. We did have quite a few reappearing actors and actresses for recurring characters, but we also did get a few new ones. I don't think I mentioned this in my previous Berserk review, but Griffith is voiced by Sakurai Takahiro. He's known for his roles as Suzaku Kururugi in Code Geass, Oshino Meme in Kitsumonogatari, it looks like, Rohan Kishibe from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and if I am not mistaken, Shogo Makishima from Psycho Pass. He's actually a really good voice actor for Griffith too. So we have Shirk, voiced by Saito Chiwa, it looks like. She's known for her role as Hitagi Senjogahara from the Bakemonogatari series. Chloe von Einsburn from Fate Kyled Liner. Overall, I think she portrayed Shirk exactly the way I thought she would. Oddly enough, when I read the manga, I did hear a similar voice for Shirk in my head. So when the voice actress's portrayal of the character lines up with the voice you had in your head, it's actually really good. Speaking of actresses that fit their role absolutely perfectly. For Ivarella, we had Satomi Arai. I know her as Shirai Kuruko from a certain scientific railgun. I don't think you could have picked a better voice actress for Ivarella. Definitely not. Absolutely amazing direction on that one. Whoever made those decisions should be promoted. Everyone else should just be fired. Other than that, everything's the same. Hiroaki Iwanaga as the voice of Guts, Toa Yukinari as the voice of Kazuka, Kaoru Mitsuhara as the voice of Puck, Kazuyuki Okitsu as the voice of Serpico, Yoko Hikasa as the voice of Farnese, and Hiro Shimono as the voice of Isidro. As far as characters and voice actresses go, it was actually not that bad. I gave Berserk 2016 a pass, specifically because I thought it would get better. I thought, hey, there's no way a QA person would let this pass. Yeah, I think that looks good. Let's go ahead and put that out. I think that looks good. That's good.
But sir, it's not ready.
What do you
yet.
mean it's not finished? This is perfect. Just get it out. Get it out. We gotta get it out. Let's go. It's perfect. Let's go. They did not learn from their mistakes. They did not listen to the worldwide otaku community, and that I kind of get why. I understand. But you have a market outside of Japan. You picked up a license with an extreme expectation. You're gonna tell me you let this pass. You think this is acceptable. You looked at this and said yes. And apparently this production is actually very popular in Japan. And that's fine. It can be popular. That doesn't mean it's good. Look at Sword Art. And of course, unfortunately, one of the problems that I have with the Guts versus Grimdell fight, they had 2 weeks instead of a standard week to work on it, pretty much. Because they had a recap episode right before the fight. Right before the episode. They had a recap episode. Normally that would mean, hey, I've got more time to work on this because there is a gigantic expectation for this upcoming sequence. So if you guys had more time to work on it, how did the finished product look like this? I'm really fucking pissed right now. This is not really acceptable. This is not what I want from Berserk. This is not what any of us wanted. And yes, it's given us prime meme material. It's amazing. We got the frying pan, we got the rabbit, we got the shitty fucking animation, all of which can be made into memes. Memes are not enough. Both the 2016 and 2017 adaptations of Berserk, this adaptation of the Millennium Falcon arc and this adaptation of the Tower of Conviction arc have completely butchered the source material. It was absolute fucking garbage. I hope both of these studios pull a Manglobe. I shouldn't say that. That's really harsh. Manglobe went unearned, but they had a few good ones. They had a couple good ones. My point is, don't give Berserk to a studio that is known for literally fuck all. Just don't. It's a really bad fucking idea. I don't feel lucky that we have this. I feel like God has just abandoned us, and that's why this abomination was allowed to be created and why it is allowed to exist now. So that's I think that's basically it. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. If you like the video, please make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more weeb shit. Also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/GameOtakuShow, twitter.com/Cypherial. Probably gonna change that to TGO because it sounds a little bit better. I'm also on Snapchat now, so basically feel free to add me if you want to see how much of a little bitch I am. And I am probably out of here. Should I do the whole critical thing where it's like, oh yeah, that's it, see ya? Or should I maybe do the whole glass reflection thing with the... Till next time, guys, stay frosty.